said to me, "You're a drunken idiot." I got in the car, lost control. Oh, I'm done with people saying I'm the drunk.
Do you trust a drunk who just got a DUI? You trust her opinion?
Perfect.
The women who jump-started one of the most successful reality franchises in history are back! Actually, none of the women who jump-started this show are still on it. Except Vicky, who is the Botox-filled cockroach that refuses to die.
Gang on Vicky Day. You have a little family van.
But the Real Housewives of Orange County are back, and they are hungry for some good old-fashioned camera time.
If I go like this, I can see. Oh my God, you're like spread eagle.
Here we are. Take us or leave us.
We are going to recap the season opener of this show's 18th season. It's the Grey's Anatomy of Bravo, and you may be asking yourself, can a show that's been on the air for 18 seasons really still be entertaining? The answer is yes, mostly thanks to thirsty-ass Alexis Bellino, who you just know has been stewing in the wings like a cartoon villain, thinking about how she can get back onto this show. And by the way, I love that they brought Alexis back. She really does seem to have evolved since her time on the show. And this episode would be boring as hell without Alexis coming back. If you are watching this and you happen to be a washed up reality star trying to get back into the game, take note. This is how you do it. By immediately going after a cast member's ex, preferably a cast member who's recently gotten a DUI. I am, of course, talking about Shannon Beador, the disgraced OC housewife who proceeded to get wasted and drove into a house during the off-season. One of the disturbing elements of the DUI is that she chose to put her adorable dog, Archie, in the car with her. Reportedly, when police first approached her, she parked her car in the middle of the street and, quote, tried to act like she was walking her pup. So, that's hilarious, but also terrible. And I totally get the fans who were like, she should be kicked off the show. It's like, yeah, that's horrible. But also, it's Bravo, so she's here. Okay, we are going to start the season off 5 months after Shannon's DUI with a lot of quick scenes of the cast members doing their thing on their own. Shannon and her daughters have a forced scene about her DUI. It's like, oh, you really waited 5 months to have this discussion? No, it's for the cameras, obviously.
I feel bad. I'm so sorry and humiliated. Like, what kind of example am I?
Straight up, I'm wasted.
What the hell happened? Where's the roof of our car?
It sucks, but this happened for a reason. Oh no, God has a plan.
Here, man. Come on here.
Don't bring God into you driving into a house. That was 100% your alcoholism, okay? I don't see God up there be like, 18th season, we do need something big. It's like, that's not a thing. Tamra insists that Alexis banging that aspartame-flavored ex-boyfriend of Shannon's is not a desperate attempt of a former reality star to revitalize their career, but rather Shannon's karma.
Do you want to hear karma, though? You can't clean your act up after crashing your car and almost killing somebody. I'm going to give your boyfriend to the girl you hate the most.
And then we're going to get a little update on what's going on with Gina and her crazy mess of a relationship.
Like, honestly, my gut's telling me that we need to live it separately.
The brunt of what she says is they can't afford a big enough place to accommodate all of the kids between the two of them, so they're moving apart to save their relationship.
I just know inside that if I don't try this, that I'm gonna lose him.
The tea on the internet streets is that this actually has to do with Travis's divorce to his ex-wife. I don't know if this was an editing fail or a Gina fail. I don't really care. I just wish they did better so I could know who to hate. How do I know who to hate if none of it makes any sense? You have to find a way for it to make sense to the viewer. And if you can't, cut it. Just cut Gina. What I'm saying is cut Gina from the show. I'm sorry, all the Gina fans are really hating me right now.
We looked at what it would take to get into a house the size of our family, and we can't afford it.
I'm not quite sure what we're doing here with Gina and the Brady Bunch housing crisis. And now, plus Jen has a similar storyline now because, oh yeah, Jen has gotten an eviction notice. And now, if there's any fan base that can appreciate an eviction notice, it's the fan base that watched Lynn Curtin spend 2 seasons high as a kite while her daughters received her eviction notice for her. But unfortunately, Jen is not Lynn. Roughly halfway through the episode, we get the much anticipated arrival of former OC housewife Alexis Bellino.
November 18th is the day that John Jansen walked into my life.
Not really shocked. She's ended up with the winner, Johnny J. Does anybody remember her ex-husband, Jim? Yeah. That guy was the worst.
Are we having eggs?
Yeah, I'll bring you some eggs up. Never changed a diaper. Shut the hell up.
Why are you talking so loud?
You're always here. Is that better?
That's better. I would never let you go to Greece by yourself.
Alexis has a type, and it's guys who are the worst.
Where did you get your information about John with Shannon?
I was there. I've been there.
Alexis comes in hot to the espresso martini lunch.
For 3 years, Shannon's been telling me nothing except that he never pays for anything. He takes advantage of me.
Do you trust a drunk who just got a DUI? When you get to know him, you're going to love him as much as I do.
Does this not realize he's already been on the show? Everyone knows him. He's the guy that's been banging Shannon for 3 years. What is she talking about?
He's with Johnny J.
So Heather Dubrow will be directing the climax for this episode, aka she's throwing a lunch party. They all head over to the big event. The editors really gas it up, really get us excited because we are about to watch a confrontation.
This is so good to finally meet you. I've met Heather before, very briefly, but this is the first time that she's said hello back.
So person number 478 who would classify Heather as a snob. And I love a Real Housewife snob because what do snobs do? Things like put a wishing wall up. What the hell do all these overprivileged rich people need a wishing wall for? Obviously, Gina and Jen, I don't mean you. What do these other rich folk need a wishing wall for? Wishes are for poor people, Heather. Last to arrive to the lunch party is the hottest look of the lunch party, in my opinion. Shannon walks in absolutely on fire in her lacy black dress and her newly slimmed figure.
Look at your boobs in there, Shannon.
And she is ready to do the damn thing. You know she role-played this confrontation with her 3 daughters before she came into this lunch party.
I think I should just walk up to her right now and say, can we have a chat?
Get a grip, Gina. This is reality television.
Can we have a chat outside? Do you mind?
Apparently, Emily reads lips. So all the ladies get into position for Shannon and Alexis's big confrontation. This is obviously the most talked about moment of the episode. Emily smears herself against the window. I'm pretty sure Heather straight up cayetes Gina.
This man worked them both. Now they're out there and they got a scrap.
It's like, of course it's the man's fault, Gina, but this is a reality television shoot-off, okay? It's Jesus Jugs versus an alcoholic who recently lost some weight. Let's do it. Oh, but first, Gina tells us, they must be fighting over the anaconda in his pants. And I'm like, oh, God, please. There are lesbians watching this, Gina. The confrontation begins with Shannon bringing up the lawsuit Alexis's horrible ex-husband Jim brought against Shannon and Tamra for defamation.
You were involved in the lawsuit where your husband sued me.
The lawsuit showed me the proof of my name being on anything because Jim and I had been divorced for 6 months when he sued you.
And I'm like, all right, Alexis, maybe your name wasn't on the lawsuit, but you have terrible taste in men.
It was move on.
Alexis wants Shannon to move on from talking about the lawsuit, and Shannon's like,
Are you going to write me a check for $300,000?
Then Alexis is like, look, I'm Jesus Jugs. I'm here to talk about boys.
I think what the real issue is here is that I have your ex-boyfriend.
Then Shannon's like, he's a walking bag of douche. Have him.
I thank you for taking him from me, Alexis.
And I'm thankful that he left you.
And we end the scene with Shannon looking directly into the camera and saying,
Perfect.
And holy jugs of Jesus, do we have a batshit season ahead of us. Like, I am very excited. So let me know in the comments what you thought of episode 1. Also, let me know if you want me to keep covering this show. I am Amanda, and I will see you back here on my channel in my next video.